What's going on, everybody? It's Blighters, and we're back on the Dragonflight beta with Brackenhide Hollow. Well, this dungeon, I don't know. Me personally, this dungeon is not my favorite dungeon. I think it's the first part of the dungeon where you'll see in a second. You have to go around and save a bunch of Tuskar, which means you have to pull a lot of trash at the start of the dungeon. So we'll see how much we can actually skip later on. But here we go. So if you see at the top, oh, they actually changed it. It was 9 before. Now we only have to save 7 Tuskar. Okay. So that's not bad. You have a bunch of, this is the Knoll dungeon. If obviously you haven't noticed, you cannot roar the Rage Storm. So there's a Tuskar down here. Kind of pull. Hopefully somebody grabs it while I'm pulling. So make sure that I did that correctly. Kick Earth Bolts. Rage Storm is just a Blade Storm, so you just get out of it. Okay, nobody actually cleared it. So you have to save 7 of them. So basically it's like, it's a kind of choose your own adventure at the start of the dungeon, because you got to run around and save 7 of these. So it's just like, which ones do you want to pull? Which ones don't you want to pull, right? So I think once we actually get like a good route through the dungeon, I think the dungeon will be fine. But as it stands right now, it is just run all over the place until you have enough of the Tuskar freed so you can fight the first boss. Just immune to fucking incap, man. Watch out for traps on the ground. There's a lot of traps. They do a lot of traps. They're Knoll. Oh, you cannot do this while you're in combat. That's why they didn't do it? Okay. Well, that's good to know for the future, right? Can't open them while you're in combat. So there's another one over here. I just literally ran too close to this one. I think this is why I don't like this dungeon. You just like pull so much stuff all the time. But if you're into like padding meters, this is your dungeon. So you can just do all of the damage. All of the damage. Okay. Oh, we still have these guys back here. I don't even know where these came from. Alright. At least somebody grabs that one so I can go on to the next one. We have 3, so we need 4 more. There's actually one right here. There's one right there, so that's 2 more. There's one right there. That's 3. Then I guess we can go over there. Yeah, we'll do that one. So I'm trying to map out in my head where I'm going. So I already have Incarna. She's probably going to do a pretty decent sized pull here. So hopefully I can get these guys to run back this way. I just need them to interrupt those two. Alright. Now that Rage Storm is coming out, I'm going to come up here, get these casters. And then that's 2 more, and then we just need 1 more. So actually we'll go over and grab that one. Alright, so they're going to do those. And then we're going to come over, we're going to grab these, grab this one, because this should be the 7th one, yep. And then we can go grab the boss. So the boss is right up that way. Just interrupt that, get that into the Death and Decay for the Death Knight. This dungeon also has a lot of like diseases later on as we start getting further in the dungeon. The gnolls, you know, love to throw diseases on you. I'm gonna go around this wall. Hopefully we LOS them. Now we have this like nice big pack that we can kill. So the gnolls will actually run away too. Sometimes. I mean, if you've fought gnolls before, you know that they like to run. So you kind of keep them locked down. Okay, so these 3. The one with the 2 daggers jumps at people. So you just gotta heal through whenever he just decides he's gonna jump around. Then you have this caster that's just going to cast on you. And then the big one, caster also does a heal, right? So you got to kick that. So I kicked an Earth Bolt. I probably should have held it for the caster, for the heal, just in case. And then the big one does an AoE that you just got to get out of. So most likely it'll be kill the healer and then the big one and then the little guy that jumps around. Alright, so now coming up through here, there's a bunch of stealth packs. Remember, it's this way. So in here, there's a bunch of just stealth packs. As you can see, I just pull one. And then the traps. So you walk around the traps and you're going to get pulled into all these archers that you can't really do anything with, right? Because like, unless you're a Death Knight, right? And you can pull them in, you kind of just got to run up onto them and hopefully the other ones move on, like run up to you. Try to not pull as much as possible. Jeez. Or you could just run straight down the middle, it's fine. But there's a lot more in here. Just gonna run to the door with these. Try to keep them in the Death and Decay with a DK. The Rage Storm that I can't do anything about. I wonder, what is this? Oh, okay, so that guy does more damage to, he increases the damage that the other ones do. So on hierarchies, you're probably not going to want to, obviously, just run like I did. I'm going to pull this guy just because I don't trust the DPS in here to not pull him. So this is also a general where he does increases the damage and reduces their cooldowns. Alright, so these ones are probably super dangerous. You don't want to pull them with other things unless you're prepared. So it looks like there's some poison going on some of my party. I don't have any on me. I do have this debuff though. Oh, it's physical damage debuff. That's fine. It's no big deal. Kill the archers. There's a lot of like just archers in this dungeon, which I think makes the dungeon very annoying. Just because you can't really like control them because they just stand there and shoot people. You can skip this back. You don't have to pull it as long as you can get around it. And then you pull this bear and then you come up to the second boss. This is only a 4-boss dungeon, so it's not difficult. Oh, we have... Okay. Okay. So I try not to pull this back, but sometimes it does not work. You just got to adjust, right? So this boss summons hyenas, right? So he has 2 with him. And then he summons more during the fight. And he also throws traps on the ground. You can use the traps to trap the incoming hyenas, right? So there's going to be a trap on me. The green circles are the traps. The hyenas get stuck in the traps, as so don't your group. So you don't want to get yourself stuck in the trap. He also does the buffs his nearby allies. So we're gonna call hyenas. They're gonna run in from somewhere and see I trap them in that trap. So if you just trap them in the trap, you could potentially just keep the hyenas controlled the whole fight without actually even having to DPS more hyenas. So then we run down here, and then we go pull the next boss. He's directly across from us, so we just got to go through some trash mobs. This is another general. There's a lot of these in the dungeon. And a lot of stealth mobs. Mind Soothe actually works really well in this dungeon because you can like Mind Soothe and get away from packs, so you don't have to pull them. Let me get the poison off of our DK there. While I was doing that, I walked too close to this pack. I shouldn't have pulled it. But as you can see, there's a lot of trash. So there's a lot of places you can decide that you're going to pull trash and skip trash, which is still does make for a good dungeon, right? You have a lot of choice on what you want to pull and what you don't want to pull. But I think until you have a good route for like the first part of the dungeon, I don't think it's going to be that fun. Good thing this is a season 2 dungeon. And also good thing that they reduced the amount of Tuskar, because it used to be 9, now it's 7. I'd like to see it at 6, but okay. So this boss does a frontal, all right? So you just don't point him towards the group. He also does a spray, which he's going to spray at a person. Going to leave some green stuff on the ground that spawns some ads. And then he does a grasping vines where he pulls everybody in. Get away from it, and there's stuff on the ground. It's pretty much the fight. Pretty much the fight. You should pick up some ads, keep the boss faced away from the group, and run out of vines. The ads will leave puddles on the ground when you kill them, so... And now you go to the Gauntlet. So this is the Gauntlet. They're going to keep spawning gnolls until you get to the end of it. This is my incarn and just keep pulling. The water does damage you when you're inside of it, so don't stand in the water. I'm going to keep going. I'm just going to keep chaining. Try to make the best and the most use out of my incarn. Just keep getting through this as fast as possible. Don't have an interrupt for that. Still going to pull into this. I don't have incarn anymore, but I'm a bear. I should be fine. Plus, you kind of want to get through this as fast as possible because you have all like the little gnolls that run out of the caves. And they just keep coming. So you don't really want to just stand around because you'll never get out of combat. So we got rage, we got double rage storm going. This pack's also dangerous because they have, that one right there had 2 of the generals in it, so it was 2 buffs. So everything around it was doing 30% more damage, which I think is probably another reason why you want to catch it. You want to catch those packs without the little gnolls that keep running at you. So this boss, that's the last boss right there. This boss is there's a very little area you get to fight this boss in. So I think this boss is going to be very difficult on hierarchies. Very difficult. Not bad. The boss design is actually pretty good, but I think it's just a very small area to actually fight this boss in. Because you'll see there'll be a poison cloud right on this line. So you only have this area to fight the boss. So the boss is going to do the most important thing, right? It's going to do a choking cloud. So summon a cloud. The cloud is going to silence you if you're in it, so don't be in it. And then the boss is going to summon a totem. So the totem's actually right back here. The totem needs to die ASAP because that burst starts ramping up and doing a lot of damage. It puts this Withering Rod on us. It gives us a damage amp and ticking damage. So on higher difficulties, that's gonna 100% kill us. But thank you guys for running with me, and hopefully we'll see you in the next one.